Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Monday's Market Outlook here at Top Gun Options. What an epic week last week, folks, culminating in Friday's massive sell-off. We predicted it. We knew that was going to happen to the tune of, you ready for this? $7,000 just in our weekly options model portfolio. Every Monday at 1 o'clock, we do a weekly options brief. So last Monday, 16 September, what did I put on? I said, hey, China trade, something's going to happen this week, potentially in the Gulf, and something's going to definitely happen this week with trade, and neither of them are going to be good. So last Monday at 1 o'clock, we put on a bull put spread on volatility. We used VXX, and we sold a 22 and a half bull put spread for 22 cents. How did that one make out? By the closing bell Friday afternoon, as the market imploded as we predicted, $3,960 in profit. Max profit in that trade on limited risk. That trade was risking $5,000 to potentially make $4,000. Went right through the uprights for about $4,000 in profit. The other trade that we took a look at last Monday was bearish on China. I said something bad's going to happen on China this week, and man, did I nail it. So what was it, Thursday? Check this out. Thursday, Ambassador Lighthizer. This was lost in the Fed and all sorts of stuff, but not lost to me and to Top Gun Options. Everybody's kind of trying to figure out what the Fed said and didn't say, and we'll get to that in a second. But Lighthizer Thursday afternoon, I'm like, it is way too quiet with China trade negotiations. Ditch the whole no news is good news when it comes to trade. If there's no news on trade, that's bad. Because you can tell when there's good news. Trump's tweeting about it. You hear from Kudlow, Lighthizer, Mnuchin. The heads of the five families are out there saying everything's fantastic. You didn't hear a word. And I'm like, they got here. They came in the building. We still haven't heard anything in about a day and a half. And then Lighthizer said this. And I'm like, Thursday, I told my members in the Analyze Your Trade and weekly debrief, I said, folks, this is bad. Something bad is going to happen between today and tomorrow. And man, did we nail it. The Chinese folks grabbed their ball. They picked up their ball and they went home. They were supposed to go up to Montana, I think, and meet some farmers and get, kind of do a Hillary Clinton listening tour, right? They said, cancel that, and we're heading back home. Man, the market imploded. And guess what we had on last week that we put on in our weekly options brief? We put on a bear call spread on FXI. That's the iShares China ETF. We put on the 41.5, 42 bear call spread for 19 cents. So bullish on volatility, bearish on China. How'd this thing do? That went through the uprights for $3,040 in profit. Also on about $5,000 in risk. Folks, that is a 7 right to the penny. Look at that, 30.40. And look at this one. This one's what, 39.60. $7,000 in profit, and that all came what? Friday afternoon. I'm going to talk about this at 1 o'clock, but folks, there was people ejected out of these trades on Tuesday or Wednesday and even Thursday. I said, what are you doing? Why did we get into these trades? Step 3 of our trade plan is what? Commit criteria. What are our commit criteria? Why are we getting into this trade? Why are we committing capital? And by Thursday afternoon, when we did our Analyze the Trades and weekly debrief, people are like, hey, are you still holding these? I'm like, of course. My commit criteria have not changed. And by noon on Friday, the world ended as we predicted, and those trades went right through the uprights, man. That's a 70% return on risk. If we were risking 10 grand and we made 7, that is absolutely epic, ladies and gentlemen. We are having a blast doing this. This reminded me of our trading in August, which was my best month. I did the Excel sheets over the weekend. My best month in 27 years of trading in this volatility. So nothing that happened in August has gone away. And as a matter of fact, we're getting ready to get into October, which historically is the most volatile trading month of the year. And we're up here on what? Maybe we're not going to go to war in the Gulf. Well, did you see what happened over the weekend? Even Yemeni rebels are like, holy crap. Yemeni rebels, say that 10 times fast, warn Iran plans another strike soon. Oh boy. So they keep poking the bear, and then we're going to strike back, and it's going to be bad, ladies and gentlemen. You guys know the way I feel. The president has enabled this behavior. Seizing tankers. I know that this morning or yesterday late, whatever their time, they released that British tanker that's been held for what, 2-3 months? Yay. as the dude's getting ready to get on an airplane and fly here to New York. There was supposed to be a meeting and a handshake with the president. I don't think that's going to happen. I had a lot of phone calls with buddies still wearing a uniform over the weekend, and this is it's getting very, very, very serious. Okay, but this was epic. And guess what? I just sent out another bull put spread on volatility out to Friday. Let's take a look at this one. Here's your free trade for the day. Same trade from last week, essentially. The 22 and a half bull put spread. I got filled at 19 cents, risking about $5,300 to potentially make $2,800, folks. And we'll talk about this at 1 o'clock in our brief. Hey, real quick, if you want to get in this weekly options brief, it's every Monday at 1 o'clock. It's a quick 30-minute tactical session. Already sent out the trade via text and email because I think we're heading lower. Last week I said I think we're heading back down to this 50-day moving average on the S&P 500. Remember how we got up here, and don't listen to the whole CNBC. Investors wonder whether this calm march back to near record highs can be trusted. That's got to be the dumbest headline I've seen in a while. This wasn't a calm march here, folks. Look at this. The fifth time the S&P tried to get through the 50-day moving average. Why did we pop through here? It was a short squeeze, folks. This thing popped through here. There's a lot of people short at the 50-day moving average. We popped through here on, hey, we got a phone call. Maybe China wants to talk sometime in October. I'm like, that's a month and a half away, and maybe talk in October. And then what happened here? Another little bit of a short squeeze because we popped through, short squeeze's end, and it went down. Look at that. We almost had this little periscope, inverted periscope to touch the 50. We got this news. Hey, China's maybe giving on some things in trade talks we hear. And what did I predict? One of the main reasons China was kind of acting a little friendly in the trade talks was because of Hong Kong. What do you mean Hong Kong, Wiz? Because they want to crack down in Hong Kong. They want to crack skulls and stop all these protests. They're done with it, right? Enough. Kids, go home, and if you don't, we're going to crack your skulls. So I predicted, and I've confirmed this with some buddies, that's exactly what the Chinese are doing. They were going to force, or are going to force, Trump to make a choose. Because if they steamroll into Hong Kong, but at the same time saying, hey, we'll give you everything you want for a trade deal, what's the president going to do? Is he going to stand with the protesters? Which he sounded like an idiot back here saying, it's an internal matter, Hong Kong, China, Xi doesn't need my advice. Yeah, he does. Hell, even Democrat or Republican and Democrat senators could agree, like, not only would there never be a trade deal if they crack down in Hong Kong, we'd sanction Hong Kong. So short story long, ladies and gentlemen, this calm march back up to record highs wasn't a calm march. Most of it was a short squeeze and built on hope. And the ridiculous Fed. Let me get back real quick to tell you how you can join here. So I'll give you access to our weekly options brief every Monday at 1, and then our longer primary live trade brief every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. I already sent out a text and email alert. The email's got the screenshot of the trade from today in it. This is every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Both of these things, man, for a great discount. And look at this. And I didn't update this page today. Our third quarter performance in these two portfolios is better than this, actually, since I think add Friday stuff in here. We're up over $33,000. That's probably about 50% in the third quarter. And what happened in the third quarter? This is great trading for an options trader. All you need to do is head to go.topgunoptions.com/joint. Why do we call it joint? Because you're getting access to these two briefs, the weekly options and primary live trade briefs. Call this the joint service, right? Only $195, or I'll give you a 25% discount if you do an annual membership. $195, folks. That's more than I spent on dinner the other night down here in South Florida. Very, very good deal for access to these two services. Go.topgunoptions.com/joint. And like I said, I put this on right at the open here. This trade is essentially flat. I'm bullish on volatility through the rest of the week. We have the meeting in New York. Do you think Iran's going to get up and speak at the United Nations and be like, hey, we love the world, or is it going to be some sort of fiery speech? It's going to be very, very interesting. We got some mixed PMI numbers this morning. The manufacturing was good and the services was bad. And then the rest of the week, let's see, we got some housing numbers. We got the consumer confidence number on at 10 a.m. tomorrow. That'll be very, very, very interesting. We got some Fed lieutenant speak and new home sales on Wednesday. Crude oil inventories might be a big market mover based on what's going on over in Saudi Arabia. This one's going to be a big one. on Thursday. Final GDP. Now the GDP comes out in 3 parts. It comes out in preliminary, advanced, and final. Preliminary usually has the biggest impact. I'm sorry, advanced. Advanced because it's the earliest. But this time, I think final is going to have a big impact because why? Because of what's going on with the Fed. Is the economy good? Is it not? Is it medium? Is it slowing? So we'll find out. Wholesale inventories and our trade balance. That'll be an interesting one on Thursday. And then Friday's got a massive slew of macroeconomic data. Durable good, personal spending, inflation, durable goods, another Fed lieutenant, personal income, consumer. Friday's going to be a massive day. So it might be another week with one of these. You put on a trade, then we'll find out how it's doing by Friday. Last week, you should have really learned the definition of what I call the Braveheart hold. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, some of our bearish trades weren't looking too hot. I don't care. You see that little gentle melt upward? I knew this was going to happen, folks. No news on the trade talks at all meant bad news, and man, we put it right through the upright. So big week ahead. We got the UN meeting up in in New York, close enough, and then a lot of stuff about trade. We're still digesting what the Fed said or didn't say. It was more about what he didn't say. The best summary that I heard of the Fed meeting last week was it was a hawkish cut. They cut rates, but the dude was more or less hawkish. He didn't sound like he was doing anything else for the rest of the year. But after this Fed meeting, even over the weekend, I saw major houses calling for QE. Like, we need some QE4. We'll talk about what's going on in the repo market today at 1 o'clock. Remember, today at 3 o'clock, we have our solo Amazon brief. It's one of our newest, it is our newest service, and it's the hottest service out there, folks. People are clamoring to get in the door here. But we're going to talk about all these issues and where the market's heading next. Paranoia written all over the S&P 500 to get up to this record high. Isn't this funny? So CNBC, investors wonder whether this calm march back to record highs can be trusted. Over at Bloomberg, paranoia written all over it in the struggle back. So CNBC calls it a calm climb back, and Bloomberg calls it a struggle back. This is why you need to be here at Top Gun Options, folks. I give you exactly what the answer is, not these two. What a bipolar bunch of headlines. Calm march back and struggle back. I'll give you what the right answer is. All you need to do is head to go.topgunoptions.com/joint. JOINT, $195, folks. Give it a test flight for a month for $195 when we're covering trades that make $7,000. 2 trades, $7,000. And folks, I get it. Hey, Wiz, I don't want to risk $5,000 on a trade or 5 and 5. I don't want to risk $10,000. Don't do the amount of contracts I do. I can't give you individual investment advice. I can't tell what you to do. I can't jump on the other side of your computer and tell you what to do, folks. You want to risk, I don't know, $2,500? You do 90 contracts. You do half of what I do. I want to risk $10,000. Wiz, I got a lot of money. Great, do 360 contracts. I can't tell you what to do, folks. That's between your RIA, your broker-dealer, your certified financial planner, and God. You got to talk to those folks. You're just getting an eavesdrop on what a professional trader might potentially do, right? And in this one, I did 160 contracts. Maybe you do 80, maybe you do 1,000. Can't tell you what to do. But net, folks, no matter what you did last week, if you had these 2 trades on, you had a 70% return on risk in 4.5 days and 5 days, and that was epic. Go.topgunoptions.com/joint. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you if you get on board at 1 o'clock for weekly options, or I'll see you at 3 o'clock if you are in our newest, hottest service, solo Amazon. And by the way, Amazon, XLY, and Raytheon also closed Friday at that closing bell for max profit. We had a total of $22,000 in bearish trades that closed Friday at the closing bell. What an absolute blast. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless. I'll see you in one of our services this afternoon.